Yo. 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 Yo.
I think the mic's on, but I have it muted.
Yo,
I think the mic's
or-
on, but I have it muted.
Yo,
I think the mic's
or-
on, but I have it. We just get
Yo,
the mic's
or-
on, but I have it. We just get
Yo,
the mic's
or-
on, but I have it. We just get
Yo,
the mic's
or-
on, but I have it. We just get
Yo,
the mic's
or-
on, but I have it. We just get
Yo,
the mic's
or-
on, but I have it. We just get
Yo,
the mic's
or-
on, but I have it. We just get
Yo,
the mic's
or-
on, but I have it. We just get
Yo,
the mic's
or-
on, but I have it. We just get
Yo,
the mic's
oh my
on.
God, it is. That's terrible.
Oh my God, it is. That's terrible. Oh my God, it is. That's terrible. Oh my God, it is. That's terrible. Oh my God, it is. That's terrible. Oh my God, it is. That's
Okay, so it should be fine now that I muted the stream. Welcome back. Yeah. So I had the audio going through my desktop instead of my headphones, and I didn't have the Twitch channel muted. I can bring it back if you want, Fallen. I'm trying to figure out things. I can talk and kick, and it'll show up in the not kick chat. Also, here, if I add the browser source, let me find this. I can make it so that it shows up on stream. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's not working in YouTube. YouTube is not showing up. But let me add the browser source and then we can see the chat in the corner. So now we can see the chat, but I still don't know why it's not working in YouTube. I'm surprised it works in Kick, to be honest. Why are you surprised it works in Kick? I'm kind of surprised it doesn't work in YouTube. I can also... So the cool thing is that anything you say is getting ported over to the bot in the Kick chat. By the bot in the Kick chat too. So... let me add a different scene real quick. But it doesn't duplicate it in... Here, we'll just do a regular... We'll do... Display capture. I think this is, yeah, this is the main one. So you can see anything you say is popping up over here through the bot. So that's cool. We don't need that anymore. Also, I'm not really close to or looking at the microphone. I have a cat in my lap and I'm reading things on a monitor that's the opposite direction of the microphone. The fact that a different company website, well, I'm using a third-party website to do that. Like, this is one of the things I'm testing. I have all kinds of plugins going. So I've got 3 streams running at the same time. I've got YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, and I've got integrated chat working for 2 of them, but not for YouTube right now, which is the main thing I'm trying to figure out at the moment. The video's there, and let me type something in here to see if it shows up Oh wait, did I not get rid of the browser source? It's still there. Yeah. All right. No, I'm not looking at the live version. Okay, yeah. So it's showing up in YouTube with the browser source. So YouTube chat can still see what other people are saying, but no one else is going to be able to see what YouTube chat is saying. Let's see if this has any answers. Oh, I might have the answers. I might need to relink restream because YouTube streaming is weird where it creates new things often. So let me go here. Is this what I want? No. I need to find where to link this. Channels. Okay, yeah, here we go. So let's edit the YouTube channel. Oh. There we go. I think maybe we remove it. And add it again and see if that will fix it, if it will pull the new link. YouTube. It's pulling really old versions of it. But let's see if this works. Okay. So let's see if the chat is integrated now. I wonder if it would work with TikTok, since it seems a lot of people probably. Yeah, that's exactly why I'm trying to get this set up. The way it is right now, I can see, so the same chat that you see on the stream, I have a window of on my PC that I can look at, and that's why it's annoying me that it's not working on YouTube. I'll probably maybe set up TikTok too. I don't know. I kind of forgot about TikTok, to be honest. The problem is though, either I need to pay a monthly subscription to use the Restream service itself to be able to stream to multiple services without eating up all my bandwidth, or I'm basically limited to 3 at once with my current bandwidth limits. But maybe people don't really watch the streams on YouTube. It seems they do watch the VODs of the streams on YouTube though. Like, I upload the videos to YouTube after I'm done streaming. But there's also a weird thing with the new setup where I don't know if it's going to record the stream anymore. I don't even have TikTok. I do, but I don't really watch social media. I kind of just make stuff on social media. I the only time I ever watch any TikToks is when someone sends me one, or when I'm waiting for something I'm uploading to TikTok to upload. I'll like watch a friend's TikTok or something and give it a like. Um, uh, Ow, cat! Get off! He just like fucking started sliding off my lap and dug his claws into my leg. I think that's because YouTube is terrible at promoting live streams with notifications and just randomly finding a live. Like, you need to go on. Yeah, they really don't show lives that much. I only ever see one person's lives pop up on my regular stuff. Uh, People don't really watch post live videos either, unless it's someone like massive. Like, I think people like Ludwig and Moist Critical, their lives do pretty well. But what I found out is that if I record the streams and upload them to YouTube afterwards, those do pretty well. People watch them then as regular videos. The lives are treated entirely different from regular videos, which is understandable but kind of strange, and it makes it not great for streaming on YouTube. Um, like, yeah, you definitely need to go on a search to find a YouTube, a live on YouTube. It's easier to find a live stream on Twitter than it is on YouTube, which is kind of sad. Hmm. How are you doing today, Fallen? Everything good with you? You having fewer problems than I am, hopefully? My life is a problem. Oh no. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope it gets better. Even people that I'm subscribed to, when they do lives, no notification or anything. So that's probably a settings thing. I wouldn't know because I have all of my notifications turned off on YouTube except for like comments on my videos and things like that, or replies to comments of mine. So those are the only YouTube notifications I know. But you can probably set it to show up lives. I do get one person who shows up on YouTube, like they'll show up in my regular videos when they're live. Oh, I also, well, there's a way to see it. So no one's live right now, it looks like, so I can't show you. But in my experience, at least I don't think anyone's live right now. Are they? Are they actually live? Oh, okay, yeah. So I understand. So the way you do it, I think, let me check and see if I can find. So I'm pretty sure they're live, but I don't know how to find the live. Or maybe this is just old. Let me refresh. I don't really know the interface. So this, yeah, I think, okay, so no, this guy's not live anymore. But NASA's live right now, I think. Yeah, okay. So I'll show you how to do it. Let me get the browser source that I deleted back. 1 second. I don't have a noise gate on right now, so I'm sure you can hear my PC fans like crazy. But like I said, this is just a titty. I mean, just a test. Where the fuck is it? Okay, cool. So if you go to like your main YouTube page, and then if you look over here on the side, if it's got that little dot with the two size parentheses around it, then it means they're live. And then the little dot is new videos. I don't even know like what a lot of these are. I have way too many subscriptions. I have so many subscriptions that the A's go off the bottom. Well, I guess those are letters too. There we go. The A's go off the bottom. All gas, no brakes. This was so good. This was the original Channel 5 News. But now he's Channel 5. Do you know Channel 5? I love Channel 5. Channel 5 is amazing. But if you go look, like NASA is live right now. Adult Swim is live right now. But I don't know if I can play Adult Swim on my Twitch stream. NASA's got to be stream friendly though, right? I probably need to change my sound settings though, and I'm not sure how to do that. Well, that'll work. We need this one. All right, so now it won't echo endlessly, and I can hear the video myself by putting my headphones on. So there's another thing that happens too with YouTube lives is like you can get behind, which I'm behind now. So okay, of course we pick a live that's not live. The live video feed from the International Space Station has been disrupted. It happened because we connected to it. Let's go check out Erst. Erst is one of my favorite all-time streamers. I guess he's streaming on YouTube. I don't know if he's live on Twitch right now too.
Well, that's going to be backtracking galore.
So
oh,
if you
man.
see at the bottom, it's got the red
Yeah, well,
live dot. Sometimes you'll
Blink
fall
things were
behind the
introduced,
screen
especially with
randomly
HyperNet.
on
Although you
YouTube,
can turn that
which is
off for your
something that I
account.
don't like about it
Silly
either. And then
slot for 13
if that
months. Hello.
live goes
Beans.
away, you're kind of screwed. So you gotta
PvP
hit
everywhere.
the
Oops,
live
where's the
button
music title?
and it'll catch you back up. But yeah, these are like the
Next.
weirdness with YouTube live streams. Also, I don't know if that's the quality
Chelsea
of
used to
my
use,
stream
used to
or
run
that's-
level 5 filaments.
Maybe
okay?
that's a YouTube thing or whatever.
Then there were certain NPCs which you
We're
couldn't
at
kill.
720. Let's see if it
Which you
looks
couldn't
better.
kill.
Or is that just what Eve looks like?
I mean,
now?
depending on
haven't
your
played
setup, you will
Eve
have
in
massive
years.
issues
Look
with
at that
maybe the new
visual
Angel spawn. Well, I say
artifacting
new. This
everywhere.
thing
I
is
feel
in the
like
game
that's
for
gotta
what,
be
2
his
years now?
streaming
3?
coding, right? That's not me.
Or the Eden
I can
come guys, the
promise you
Zappy
that.
boys.
Let's go
They
check
know
a different
exactly how-
channel. Okay, now, so see, now that I think what you got to do is if you don't like YouTube is, it's got the dumbest algorithm ever. It's like they made it do too many things, so it does everything, and as a result, does nothing. One thing I've noticed about YouTube is that like if some big event happens, like the Dr. Disrespect or the Mr. Beast thing, if you watch one of those videos, it's like, oh, so you want to watch 32 videos that are exactly the same now, right? So you just end up scrolling and scrolling, and it's like, why is it another Dr. Disrespect video? I already saw this video. I watched someone watching this video and then watched someone watching this video, and it wants me to now watch someone watching the video that was watching someone watching the video. And it's like, what the fuck? Why does it not? It's like YouTube has the dumbest fucking algorithm for some reason. Twitter does lives. That's new to me. Yeah. They're kind of still testing it. I'm mobile. That looks different than the app. Oh. Well, let's see if I can figure out how to find it on mobile. Alright, so I'm on my main account on mobile. Let me switch accounts to my viewing account where I subscribe to the most things. So, yeah, now because I watched the Erst live stream, let me see if my camera will work. I haven't tried the camera yet. I don't know if it's got any plugins. Hey, it works. All right. So let me make this really big. I haven't set up any of the settings. You can tell because it's still square and probably not at full resolution. But if you look right at the top now, there's the live stream we were watching. And if you go to subscriptions, let's see. Okay. So no, I don't think. Yeah, okay. I guess you just gotta go live, or is this just gonna show you live videos? Okay, yeah, no. So there's a live tab. And if you go, so here's the main. Oh, you don't even need to go subscriptions. If you just look at the top, the third one over, I think. Yeah, the third one over is the live tab where you can find streams. And it's going to probably put your subscriptions at the top, or you can click on subscriptions and then go to the live tab. And now it thinks I'm watching all these random things. What the fuck is that? No, Megan Kelly. No wonder it's so weird. They just had the strangest like clickbait title of a whole bunch of bullshit. Let's see. Can I find what it was? It probably isn't even going to show up. Oh, here we go. Right there. Untreatable gonorrhea. That's exactly what I want to learn about. The YouTube algorithm knows me so well. I 100% just want to know all about untreatable gonorrhea. It's honestly so bad. Like, of all these videos, what am I actually gonna watch? Let's refresh. Is that helicopter crash thing old? Maybe slightly higher, maybe. That's new, or there's another one? Is there another one? Oh my god. Okay, never mind. I'll watch that probably eventually, but I don't like those are like something rare that I barely watch. I haven't watched you know what the other thing I hate is? I haven't watched that. I have not watched that. But for some reason it thinks I've watched 27 minutes of the video. And it's just because of this stupid mouse over shit. Like, I probably went to go make a coffee or like take a shit or something, and I left my mouse over a video like it is right now. The Rockfeed one is playing. This one I will absolutely watch. Of these top 9 videos, well, that's not 9, that's 12. Of these top 12 videos, I'm definitely going to watch one. That's less than a 10% success rate. They have a 10% success rate with their algorithm. It makes no sense. I'll probably watch this one and that one. Maybe that one. So this group's a little bit better. We got 3 out of 12, just barely over 1%. Let's go check this group. I want to watch that one, but eventually. We have like, why do I care about a channel called Celeb News? I've watched 1 or 2 videos about this person. She's like super corrupt and evil, but they're all from the same guy. I like Nate the lawyer does a lot of, there's 2 lawyers I watch, right? Nate the lawyer is one. So the first search was that lion bitch. He is more of a right-leaning lawyer. Pretty cool dude, retired police officer. And then the other guy is Legal Eagle. And he is definitely a left-leaning lawyer. So I get the legal opinion from both sides, you know, that's how I stay informed. My third tab says podcasts. All AS. Okay. So I don't have any of those tabs. That's pretty crazy. It's going to be super highly customized. Mine says, dude, mine's entirely different. I guess you can change it in settings. Mine says all today videos, shorts, live, posts, continue watching unwatched. So it looks like for some reason your settings, nope, I can do videos and post videos only. Weird. It looks like somehow your settings have it set up. I don't even watch podcasts. Yeah. It looks like for some reason, what are you on? Are you on an iPhone? Because that might be the problem. I have the Android app. If you're on an iPhone, Android only. Damn, I don't know then. maybe different versions of the app. I'm not sure. Oh wait, here we go. Yeah, okay. So the tabs that I was saying were on my subscriptions page. So if you go subscriptions, you might be able to find the live tab. But on the main page, I get different ones. I've got all gaming. They're still alive. But then I've got podcasts, and I guess I do watch that one podcast, The Diary of a CEO. I watch that podcast. Music, thoughts, World of Warcraft classic, news, mixes, media theories, wealth, courts, stocks, audio commentaries, role-playing games, comedy, information, science, and then it's like other stuff. So at least the topics are kind of right, but it doesn't show me videos I actually want to watch. It's so frustrating. I don't know why it does. And then the thing that I hate too, this video has been on my dashboard since it was put up there. No matter how many times I fucking scroll past it, it's still there. I don't really care about this. I like it when Tectone gets involved with drama and then he goes on some rant about a voice actor trying to cancel him. This shit is so funny. Like, let's go watch one of the videos I actually watched from him. So, this thing. Is this the one we want? I want the most recent one. Okay, so he watched the Atozy video that I watched. Atozy is blowing up. I've been watching Atozy forever. And this Vitaly video, if you don't know who Vitaly is, we'll fix that in a sec. But this is the type of stuff I watch from Tectone. I think it's fucking hilarious. So
no way the VA situation is still going on and it's still getting worse. Bro, Paimon's English VA being one of the dumbest
So if you don't know, the basic rundown of what happened is there are voice actors for Genshin Impact that are throwing a fucking fit because they're part of SAG-AFTRA, which is the Screen Actors Fuckface Guild or something like that. It's the largest acting guild, union in the United States. And I'm generally pro-worker, pro-consumer, but SAG is evil as fuck. And I say that as someone who was like a theater major, and I was like pretty determined if I went into it that I was never going to join that union. It is the most evil union in existence as far as I'm aware, as far as I can tell. I don't do a lot of union research, but no one does as much evil shit as SAG as far as I'm concerned. So there's this big thing where, and their rules are so stupid. So Global Rule 1 or whatever the fuck it's called is that if you're a if you're a union actor, you're not allowed to take union jobs except for in situations where you're trying to that the exception isn't written in there, but there's it's supposed to be like a hard and fast rule, but it's also not really kind of enforced unless they don't like you, then they'll enforce it, which it's so fucked. It's so evil and twisted. But you're not supposed to accept non-union jobs if you're in the union. However, you can do non-union jobs if you're trying to force the place to accept the union, basically. So it's so fucked up. And basically what happened is a bunch of union voice actors have been working for Genshin Impact, and now the union is on a general strike. But here's the craziest thing: they're not striking against Genshin Impact because it's a non-union game. But there's this huge whole fucking drama where like some of the Genshin Impact voice actors are striking but some of the other ones aren't. And the one that is making the biggest noise about like Genshin Impact not catering to the union has actually not joined the strike herself. She's a literal fucking scab if you know anything about like union terminology and stuff. So she is part of the union, but she's not following Global Rule 1 because she is working a non-union job, and 2, there's a union strike, but she's working through the strike anyways, and while simultaneously getting mad at people that aren't supporting the strike, even though she herself is not supporting, or they're non-binary. Sorry. Even though they themselves are not supporting the strike. So it is the absolute most insane, like, mental illness hypocrisy on display thing. And it's really fun to watch these videos of this idiot crashing out and ruining their life while I eat dinner. So that's the only reason I really follow Tectone. The union, that's a genuine union rule, not just SAG. Fair enough. Yeah, I'm not surprised. But the thing about acting, and especially voice acting, is 80% of the work is non-union work. So it makes it really hard to do that if you're not one of like the top 1 or 2%. Because another thing that happens in acting that doesn't happen in other industries is, I don't know if any of these people are union. I'm just throwing names out there. If you're Brad Pitt, you are going to get cast in 20 movies or 20 shows for every one show that someone else lands, right? So then if you are in the union and you have to compete with Brad Pitt for the same limited 20% of available jobs, you're just getting fucked in the ass by the union, because you're still paying those union dues, by the way. And if you don't earn enough money working those only union jobs because you're not allowed to work other jobs, then you don't get union benefits, but you still have to pay into the union. How fucked is that? But yeah, we'll throw this
motherfuckers
on
on Earth is a infinite content farm. No way the VA situation is still going on, and it's no way the VA situation is still going on, and it's still getting worse.
You can see it's
bro,
not my
Paimon's
PC.
English VA being one of the dumbest motherfuckers on Earth is an infinite content farm. But what did they do this time? Is it worse than thinking they can sue me for reacting to a small 48 subscriber YouTube channel that has AI of them? Yeah, fucking right. What could possibly be going on this time?
Oh yeah, she tried. They threatened to sue Asmon because, I mean, not Asmon, Tectone. They're the same person. One just has hair, a little bit of hair like around the back. The other one has a little bit of hair down around the front. If you put them together, they have a full head of hair, almost. There's still like the massive forehead empty spot, but you get what I'm saying. So loud he is. Let me turn him down, okay? My volume things are so fucked right now. It doesn't sound too loud in my headphones.
Great.
Praise Corinna. Praise Corinna.
Okay, I'm looking at the levels right now. That should be better. It should be.
And I gotta come clean about something.
Okay. Softer than me,
I was already in the
maybe
middle
about
of
the
making
same
this
volume.
video,
It's hard to tell.
but it was all so stupid that I was actually at a loss for words like half the time.
No way.
And I ended up deleting the video
Okay.
because it was just coming out so messed up. Because this whole thing is so
Tectone is way
freaking
louder than the video.
unbelievable.
He's watching.
It's shocking. It's jarring.
So, do you remember that Karina, the VA for Paimon?
Yeah, we
that
all
Karina
remember.
Can you guys
video
still
she made
hear
on
it?
TikTok where she
'Cause
was
it's
like
kinda
crashing
quiet for
out,
me,
getting
but
all
Yeah, we never
angry,
heard.
all
I'll
mad.
fix levels
The
after I
creator
fix the
of
other
Hope This
problem.
Helps, my new favorite meme.
YouTubers don't know anything. YouTubers don't know anything. They're not.
Join the union. My precious. Yeah, we know her.
They're not voice actors. They've never been in my industry. They don't know what my industry is.
Fucking bug-eyed freak, bro. You think you see this fucking jump scare mob and Poppy's Playtime, brother? Like, holy shit. Freaky as fuck. Bro looks like a Bloodborne NPC. Freaky as shit. Give her a big-ass club. Bro's an ogre.
Is about. They don't know anything about SAG. They don't know anything about being a non-union actor either.
Bro doesn't know anything about having eyebrows, brother.
They have more incentive
To lie?
They have more of an incentive to lie because idiots like you fall for their shit and they get paid for that.
So,
Yeah, so idiots like
one
you
more
should
time.
support this
Is
chick.
YouTube
Ain't that
chat
right?
working? Showing
Yeah.
up?
What a great appeal to a community. Yep.
So one of the
Yeah. Oh,
suggestions
I'm
was
an
that
idiot. I want to listen to this chick. Oh, okay, great.
Hello? So nobody else's opinion
Hello?
that is super fucking wrong anyway matters. Hope this helps.
So yeah, that crash.
You know what's crazy? And tell me that I'm wrong. If an anime character had this personality, you'd all love it. The problem is, this is a real ugly ass motherfucker with this personality. Just straight up psycho bitch.
Super fucking wrong anyway matters. Hope this helps.
So yeah,
Like legit, bro is a IRL supervillain. Like, oh man, it's insane.
that crash out video, the one I already discussed last week,
Yep.
played the whole thing last week and explained why, in my opinion, her take is terrible. And I also presented a theory about what that crash out video was specifically referring to, because a lot of people thought it was about the Jacob Takanashi stuff, but in fact, that crash out video occurred before then. And she was instead probably crashing out over a video that either I made around a month ago or a video / short
Yo, Chad, who's worse, Paimon or Paimon's VA? Pick your poison. You have to spend a day with one of them. Who's worse?
that YouTuber Darkghost88 made also around a month ago. For anyone curious who hasn't seen my full theory on that, I will link the video where I explain that all in
actually
more
looks
detail in the description
better.
for you with the timestamp to that part. But back to the main topic for
And
this video. Now that we had a quick
opening a
refresher
browser
about
window
Karina's
looks
crash out
better,
video,
actually,
there was a Reddit post
than
I saw
opening the
yesterday
thing
where
itself.
apparently over on Blue Sky,
Uh-oh.
Karina was
I hate the way this guy says blue sky. Just, let's go back and hear it again. Blue sky.
this video. Now that we had a quick refresher about Karina's crash out video, there was a Reddit post I saw yesterday where apparently over on Blue Sky,
I hate
Karina
the way he
was
says blue sky.
saying that video,
Why
the
do you
crash out
say
video,
it like that?
was actually AI. Let's take a look at it.
Yeah.
Stop.
So basically, what happens
No,
is
she did not.
she claims
Stop.
the video of her crashing out,
And that I will.
which we just
Referring
saw.
to being-
She uploaded it to her
All
own
love it.
TikTok, by the way.
So you-
this one right here.
Super fucking wrong anyway matters.
Of them
Hope this
crashing
helps.
out.
So yeah,
They claim
That
the
crash-
video of
You know
them
what's
crashing
crazy?
out
And tell me that I'm wrong.
was
If
made
an
by
anime character
AI.
had this
Even
personality,
though
you'd all.
they uploaded it to their own TikTok. But you know, someone else made it from AI, and then somehow it ended up on their TikTok. And then when they got called out for that later on here, so like everyone just talks about so much lies and stuff. I think, is this the part where they get called out? I don't know where it went. But later when they get called out, I think it's later, like around here. Yeah. See right here. This is their claim. Oh, by the way, I have learned that the TikTok you are talking about was AI. It was not my original TikTok, so yeah, maybe don't listen to Reddit at all. So this is AI, and you've never said this. I agree, YouTubers don't know anything, though. It's literally a link to her own.
misinformation.
Oh my God! It got 1,000
Their own.
upvotes. Holy shit!
I love how her just being flat out wrong is confirming that post also getting over 1,000
Stop.
Keep
upvotes
saying
and
her
becoming a top
in the
post there for
video.
the day.
Stop.
One of the top
Keeps
responses
resetting it
there
in my
says,
brain.
I'm going to say this once. This is, or at least should be, considered defamation. It's a complete line made to tear
Oh my
someone's-
God, they believe
made
it.
to tear down someone's reputation.
people
This
Oh
is
my
the very
God.
definition of defamation. Except that didn't happen. And the person lying here is actually Karina.
Started off by hating my ass, and now they watch me because they realize it's just a matter of fucking time, and it.
I think it's dumb to try and lie and say this was AI when it's clearly not. And the whole subreddit is falling for such an obvious lie. Obviously, it's Reddit. The Everyone that spends any amount of time on Reddit has insane brain rot. Gaming Circle Jerk, just replace that with Reddit. Falls for anything you tell them as long as it fits their narrative or something like that. Politics and 10% random shit, honestly quite good for a laugh. There are no humans in Reddit. Just replace anytime like some subreddit is ragging on another one, just replace all of that.
And it just keeps going and it keeps going and it keeps going. That's not everybody. That's not everybody, but it's a lot of people.
The rest of these chats are still
and
working.
It's fucking shocking. I always loved you, Bald Man, and I love you too, random citizen.
No, this one's
Appreciate
not
that.
working.
Not. And even dumber for
That
Gaming
one's
Circle Jerk
working.
for falling for such an obvious lie. Gaming Circle Jerk falls for anything you tell them as long as it fits their goal, which seems to be 90%
So this
politics
other
and
browser
10%
link
random
is not
stuff.
working.
Honestly, quite good for a laugh. There are no humans in that sub. Got curious and skimmed through the comments
try
there.
something
I
else.
shouldn't have.
Yep.
Some of the Genshin Impact subreddit users then going over to Gaming Circle Jerk and refuting what they say there. For example, back on the Gaming Circle Jerk post about Karina, and the
Nuts.
comment we took a look at a moment ago saying, this should be considered
Fucking nuts.
defamation. They would get a response that reads, how is it defamation if they uploaded the supposed AI video? If it's AI, wouldn't they be a user of AI themselves?
Yep.
And the OP of the Gaming Circle Jerk Karina post saying, I think they meant a different video of an AI of Paimon calling out Karina directly. She's been really tired from being at the hospital all weekend,
Shut
I'm
up,
sure.
bro.
Someone else
Shut
says,
up.
LMAO, the video they're talking about is obviously the TikTok
Yep.
one. It's in the
The amount
picture.
of
I think
copium
y'all need to learn
is
how to
insane.
read.
Bro, dude,
Alright, try this one more time.
dude, this community is so fucking dumb, bro. They're so fucking dumb. Oh my
Okay.
god, bro.
The unified chat's
it
working
it
there.
actually makes me feel like I'm taking crazy pills sometimes, man. It really does.
Yo, what's
it
up,
actually
preacher?
makes me feel
How's it going? Good to
like
see you,
I'm
bro.
going
I'm
insane.
trying to.
It is and dude,
Fix some
I
settings.
never thought
So-
I would be shocked. I never thought I could be. I would say I'm gobsmacked. I've never
Windows to
used that
Linux
word before. I would say I'm
and
legitimately gobsmacked. I am
Streaming
speechless.
on
This is
Linux
insane. It's just like,
is
bro,
not
read
really
for 2
any
seconds.
harder
The
than
amount of
streaming on
shit
Windows
that
is,
you can figure
but
out, whether it's real or fake or
on
not,
Linux
requires you to
is.
read for 15
So,
fucking seconds.
We're trying to
It is
figure that
insane.
out right now. That's what I've been
It
trying to
doesn't fit
figure
their
out for the
narrative, so
past
of course
2
they
days,
refuse to read.
really.
However, back
And
on
I
Blue
broke
Sky, there
things
would be a bit of a
yesterday,
plot twist.
'cause also,
Bro,
like,
Homelander
when you're
could
fucking
fix this
around on
community
Linux, it's
so
way easier
quick.
to break
So we
things
already read this part
than
where
on,
Noah Gibson linked the crash out video over on Reddit,
on
to which
Windows.
Karina said,
So I
yes,
had to
that's
spend,
AI,
like,
and yes,
half a
YouTubers
day
do know it, they just don't care.
basically.
Corin then saying, is this not your
fixing
TikTok
things.
account, and linking
How
to
you
that very
doing,
video
Noah?
on
Good to
her
see
very
you, bro.
TikTok account. Noah
I've been
Gibson once again commented saying, Karina, this
so
is bad.
busy
You got
just trying to
You
get
got to say something fast.
everything running
Another
again
user, Patrick,
that I
would
haven't
say,
had a
there was a
chance
post about a smaller
to
channel that used
catch
AI,
up with
not
the
for this
Discord.
TikTok, referring
I
to the
saw
crash
you
out video,
were
presumably.
playing
It's a
Pal
different
World,
video,
though.
which
I
Tectone
still
watched
get,
on
like,
stream.
some of
My
the
guess is
pings
maybe things
on
got
my
mixed up,
phone.
and Karina didn't check this
And
Reddit link, to which Karina
also, I've been
actually
working on the
responds and says,
YouTube,
this is
too.
exactly what
I broke
happened.
50
You're such
subscribers on the main
liar,
YouTube,
bro.
which is
Oh
cool.
my god.
The nice thing
How does this
about this, though, is all
bro,
my commands still
how do
work
I get
because
blamed
they're
for everything
on the
bad
cloud,
in the Genshin Impact community?
in the bot.
5
Go
years.
follow the YouTubes. I'm streaming
5
on the
years of
streams
blame
YouTube right
Tectone
now,
for everything.
But that's also
Legit.
the problem.
It is
we're
psychotic.
having, is
Like, these people want me to be
it
Hitler
doesn't show
so
up in
bad.
the unified chat,
Like,
and I can't
it
figure
has,
out why.
oh man.
Whereas
It must be, you
Stream
know what, guys?
Elements
It's probably my fault there's
made
global
that
passes and
easy.
Hawkeye
Stream
Star Rail
Elements had
too.
has a
It's
plugin,
probably my
but
fault
the
that Dwayne
plugin
only has 5
works
yachts and
on
not 10.
Windows. And
Jesus,
originally,
that being said, me
I
fixing
was
the weapon
trying
banner probably
to
pissed a lot of
find
people
a
off.
way to, like, use
These
the
people will
virtual
find
machine
any way to blame
and
me for
maybe
anything, bro. Holy
stream
shit.
on Windows,
So you're telling me
on
that
Linux,
Tectone watched a video
but
where
one,
someone
that's
used
really
AI
resource intensive.
to make Paimon
Two,
say
it didn't even
something,
give me the benefit I
which in
thought it
fact
would.
that video
I
does
thought
exist,
it
and I'll
was
show you in a
going
moment.
to
But you're telling me
make
that
it
for
so
some
that
reason that video got
it would
posted to
use
Reddit.
up a third.
Maybe it did, maybe it
of the
didn't, but I can't
bandwidth.
find that Reddit post.
But
Allegedly, that's
as
a thing,
I
though.
was, like,
And you're telling me Karina
delving
knows
into
about that Reddit
how
post.
the plugin actually works,
And then on Karina's Blue Sky,
I found
when
out
people were linking
that it
a
doesn't
Reddit
work
post
the way
that's very
Restream does.
clearly not
so
about.
if you're
Also,
going to multi-stream,
Hero, hey,
whoever you
please, for the
are,
love of
and you
God,
have
stop using your E
the
on
money to
Star
pay
Lord.
for
You
it,
were
I
misplaying
highly
so
suggest
hard.
you
I know it's
use
easier,
Restream,
but this
where
background
it makes
B-roll
it
footage
really
is driving me
simple,
and saying,
All you
okay,
do
you use the E as an execute,
is
not as an
you
engage. Please, for the
upload
love of God.
to
About that,
you
but
just
about her
stream
crash out
to
video.
Restream
And we can all
servers.
see very clearly that
And
Karina
then
responded to that saying
You can
that's
actually
AI.
stream to up to 2 places.
That
for
somehow
free. So maybe
she
since
thought
I can't get
that
YouTube
Reddit
chat
post, which
integrated
again was very
anyways,
clearly about the crash out video, was in fact not about the
and
crash
no
out
one
video, but
watches my
instead
YouTube live streams.
about Tectone watching
Stop.
some AI Paimon on
Maybe I
stream.
just
How the
do
frick do you even
restream
mix that
to-
up? And you know what? I am actually willing to
you-
give Karina benefit of the doubt. I'm willing
is
to
it
believe that she
red?
did mix those videos up, but I
red
still
in the
don't
chat.
understand
That's
how she
kind of
mixed those two up
frustrating.
when the
You
post that
guys
she's
can't see
responding
that,
to is so
but
clearly
I
about
can
her
change
crash
it
out
so
video.
you can.
And for her to then accuse YouTubers of knowing
I
it's
need to
AI
go.
and saying
There's
that we
some
just don't care when
changes
she's
I
the one
still
who's
need to
completely
make.
wrong about all
One of
this
the
is
things
just
that I do- that
ridiculous. Like,
is
dude, the frick are you
kind
doing?
of
And
annoying
let me
that I
also
haven't
say
figured
that I
out
apologize
about
if I
Linux
repeated some of my words
is
right there. I've recorded this part multiple
icons
times
are
too
kinda
because
hard to
all
get
of
up
this
to
is so
show up
stupid
on
that I'm
the
having a
other
hard time
bars.
even putting it
They're
into words and
only
like
on the
commenting on
main
this.
screen.
Here's the last
Oh
thing we'll
my
take a look
God.
at from
Sure.
one day ago on
I
Paimon
know
English
there's a
VA
way.
thinks I literally ruined her life.
100% to
Oh my God, this is
recreate
becoming
this
critical
bar
levels of
on these
delusion.
other
This is so
bars.
embarrassing.
But I also wanna
Tectone's
see if
channel,
there's
more Tectone. You can see a video
shorter,
titled Paimon's
easier
voice
way to
actor
just
faces
automatically
backlash.
copy
And the
bar,
entire
but
video
I
is
haven't done
Tectone
that
reacting
yet,
to
because
a video titled
while we were
Paimon
trying to
PA
get the
versus
stream
bootleg AI Paimon
working,
Genshin
we
Impact
did
announcement.
first.
And I'll
Let's
play
get
like 10
chat
seconds
back
of this
on
for you to take a
top.
look at
Chat
yourself.
should
This is the
be
one that
all
apparently got
be
posted to
off.
Reddit that somehow Karina knows about and somehow mixed up the
Also,
crash
I
out
wanna
video with or
change-
something.
God.
Yeah, you get the point.
Paimon herself
I
roasted.
don't need the dock anymore. 'cause
Hi,
the browser
this isn't
windows
Paimon,
do
or even her voice
fine
actor.
and
I'm just the
looks
guy that
better.
redubbed Dragon Maid for
I
fun
wanna
a while
change
back
the
and got
settings.
yeeted from the internet.
So-
This message is
Oh,
for
wait.
Karina.
This is
You-
the AI video, the actual AI video. So the voice actor is using like an I can't talk right now. They're using smoke and mirrors to say that someone made an AI video of them freaking out, and it wasn't the video of them freaking out that was AI, but there was an AI video. So they're just using it to confuse the fuck out of people. And the video that he's about to play right now is the AI video. Basically, it wasn't even an AI video of them, though. It was an AI video of the character they voice act. And the AI even says at the beginning, no, this is not the voice actor. This is the. So I don't like gacha games, playing them at all. I played Genshin Impact for like a week, I think it was. And mostly it was because I had a stream sponsorship thing through Stream Elements. I was like, whatever. I'll play it, see if enough people to pay it to hit the threshold. They didn't. Everyone that watched the stream already was playing Genshin Impact, and you need new downloads to make money from that. So, one, I didn't really like. The gameplay was mediocre. I heard that other ones have better gameplay. Like apparently, Wuthering Waves or whatever the fuck it's called, the one that Tectone plays. One of my friends that was really into gacha said that's way better than this is. So that's a thing. Like as far as gameplay and combat and stuff. But just in general, I don't like the whole gacha mechanic at all. I like having active goals that I can build towards and work towards, or at the very least the purchasing ability. So I do kind of like loot boxes. Loot boxes are okay if it's like cosmetics and stuff. So the original, I think they brought them back eventually, but it's too late to save Overwatch. They fucked that shit into the ground, and then Rivals came out and paved a road over top of it. But I did like the original Overwatch 1. The best season of Overwatch was Overwatch 1 Season 1. It's been downhill ever since then. I did like the original Overwatch 1 loot box system, where it was just cosmetics and stuff, and you earned coins, especially for drops you already had. You would get extra coins, I think, and then you could buy certain skins during like the season they were unlocked. For example, like if you didn't get the Mercy Halloween witch skin in the Halloween loot box one year, and you were still playing next year, it would be discounted next year, and you wouldn't have to spend like the full credits, but you also would only be able to get it during the Halloween event. I thought that was kind of cool. But what I don't like is when gameplay mechanics are locked behind gacha or gambling systems. The fact that like the whole gacha system is so broken, where you either need to spend $300 or play 3,000 hours to get your tier 5 characters so you can progress in the game. That's just stupid as hell. Like I wasn't even actually dying. I was just going into higher level areas of the game where I was just like peeking around because I was kind of getting bored with the gameplay on Genshin Impact. But every time I died, it would be like, maybe if you spent money and bought a higher level character, you wouldn't have died. It was just like, no, fuck this game. I want nothing to do with this. And just anything that like is gacha really pisses me off. But there is something I love about gacha games, and it's all the fucking drama that comes out of it. I love hearing about it because it's the stupidest shit. It is just adult babies shouting at each other. It's fucking hilarious to me. Oh yeah, that's new. We're setting up a Ko-fi page because monetization and stuff. I want to start developing Android and potentially iOS apps specifically because there's apps that I want that don't exist, basically. So I'm going to make them myself. And the one is going to be totally, entirely free. No ads, nothing. Well, neither one of them are going to have ads that I have in mind right now. And it's just going to have a donation link if people want to donate. So I just wanted to get a place where people could do donations that's not fucking PayPal, because fuck PayPal. So I have Ko-fi and linked through Stripe. And Stripe is really good too, because you can use that to set up whole online marketplaces and stuff. So I've been grinding endlessly in the background. I am exhausted. And honestly, the whole reason I didn't even mean to actually stream today. I'm just trying to get this streaming bullshit figured out, and I'm past the point where I can do it off stream. I need to run test streams to make sure everything's working. Like we still have it. If I get rid of all the other things, this is how the stream started. I don't have a noise gate on or anything. You guys just hearing my... Oh, now you're going to... Right as I say that, the furnace comes on too. You just hear the rumble of the furnace in the background. Let the ASMR furnace guide you off to sleep. It's just pre-cycling. Give it a sec. Well, I just heard the burners kick on. Where are the fans? We're going to open the vent up so you can hear the sounds as much as possible. I'll turn the camera back on at least. Turn all this shit back on. Why not? Perfect timing. Right as I open the vent up, the fans cycle on. So you guys can hear all of it now because I don't have a noise gate or a compression filter. I forgot I don't have a compression filter installed. If you guys don't know what a compression filter does, it takes the peaks down and it brings the bottoms up to make sure you can kind of always hear me without blowing your eardrums out. So sorry, headphone users. God, I'm so tired I can't even talk anymore. I have been typing sudo so many fucking times I don't even know. Sudo, if you're not aware, is the command that gives you root, which is the equivalent of administrator access on Android, and you need it to do all kinds of things because by default users have less access than on like a Windows, and it's more difficult. You got to enter your password each time, and at this point I just want to type in sudo my fucking balls. Actually, let's do it. Let's see what happens when I type in sudo my fucking balls. We're gonna start a new terminal. I use VS Code as my terminal window. I like it better than the actual terminal. Wait. We're just gonna type the whole thing. No spaces. So it's going to ask for a password. It does it in stars, but I also don't want you guys to know how many letters there are in my password. Every little bit of security I can, you know. Which means I should probably I turned the mic off so you guys couldn't hear me typing either because I don't have the noise gate on. Let's see, did I type it right? I did. Unfortunately, command not found. Oh wait, I don't know if you guys can see that. It's going to be behind the cam. Where'd it go? I still can't see it. I gotta move the cam. There we go. Sudo my fucking balls. Command not found. Someone needs to put that in a distribution of Linux. And it should, I don't know what the purpose is, but it should just be when you're frustrated of typing sudo a million times. Because I'm pretty frustrated right now. How long have I been streaming? It doesn't even tell me because the plugin is weird. You know what? Fuck this. It's causing so many issues trying to get It's causing so many issues trying to get this working the way I want that I'm just going to go back to using Restream. I can only stream to 2 without the subscription right now, and I've been offline for so long, just over the past year, that I've lost my momentum, so I can't afford the subscription right now. But the YouTube is growing. I'm hugely excited about that. It's actually, this is just recently, I've started to see the first amount of consistent growth on the new YouTube channel. Before, it would happen in small spurts where I'd get like 5 new subs and then nothing for months, and then 10 new subs and then nothing. But now the YouTube is getting to a point where it's like I've got a steady trickle going where it's like 2 or 3 a week. So it's only going to keep getting better. I'm going to keep doing more stuff. I want you guys to let me know what type of content you want to see. Like, I'm just here to entertain and educate and uplift, you know? Well, let's change that to enlighten. Then we have 3 E's. Entertain, educate, enlighten. That's our new, I'm going to get it on the wall. It's going to be my live, laugh, love. I'm kidding. Maybe not. I don't know. The 3E squad, we'll call it. I'm way too tired. All right. I don't think I need to because things change. But, dude, there's so many little... my to-do list gets longer every single day. I check like 5 things off my to-do list every day, but I add like 7 to 10. So it's like, what the fucking hell? The cat is so mad at me right now because we haven't played in forever. And the mic's in front of my face. I'm thinking of changing the camera, but also if I change the camera, I don't know. Dude, there's a million things racing through my head right now. I can't focus on the stream. I was kind of frustrated I haven't been streaming because I literally just sit in this chair for 10 hours a day typing commands into terminal. I think I want everything to be perfect exactly the way I want it. And the thing is, you can kind of do that on Linux, but I don't know enough about Linux to achieve that yet. So I'm running into a lot of barriers, and the AI is really helpful, but it's also kind of stupid sometimes. And I have to remind it things that I already told it or that we already did. And it's like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm like, fuck. I actually fucked the PC up a little. The whole reason I fucked it up is because I was using the AI with this, right? So VS Code, this is the most widely accepted coding app these days. It can do just about anything with all kinds of plugins, and like everything else, it has AI. How do I load the AI chat? Why there? I don't know how to. I swore all I did before was talk in here, but you can see I've used a little bit of it. I'm pretty sure Copilot is what fucked my system up. A combination of me and Copilot. It's apparently good for understanding and writing code, but even though it's good at that, it doesn't seem to really help to know how to like solve Linux errors and stuff. It can help with editing the Linux files. I don't want to open any files in code because I don't know what's visual information. It's not even on the right screen. What am I doing? I got to fix the chat so it goes away, kind of. But I think if it goes away, then it goes away. No, but dude, there's a million things that I need to fix. And I don't know the solutions. So I'm coming up with theories. And there's like 20 things. This is why I haven't been streaming. It's not that I haven't been working. It's that I work every day just to get caught up. And the fact that we're live now is how close we are. I thought we were going to be live Wednesday. It took a day and a half longer than I expected. 2 days, I guess, because I don't officially consider this being live. But tomorrow we're just going to simplify things. I'm going to uninstall some plugins from OBS. Just use the restream bullshit. Straight up. That will save me bandwidth. It will solve my issues with not having the other chat, because I'm just not going to stream to YouTube since no one watches YouTube lives anyways, unless you're like Penguin Zero or Ludwig. And I'm going to... What was the other big issue that I've been having? Oh, yeah. I don't think, because of the plugin that I'm using, the way this multi-stream plugin that I'm using works is I have to start the stream. Oh, you know what I can do, though? I can just record. Yeah. So I have to start the stream and then start the multi-stream. But it has to start streaming to the other streams. It can't stream to Twitch through the multi-stream while it's already streaming to Twitch through the base stream. So then I have to shut off the Twitch stream and then start Twitch streaming through the multi-stream. But when I shut off the basic OBS Twitch stream, it also stops recording to my hard drive. And also, for some reason, my hard drive's like unmounted and then remounted with a 1 after them, and that screwed up all my file paths and shit, and it's just, I just want to take my brains and scoop them out with an ice cream scooper. Oh, okay. I'm frustrated and exhausted in a way that words can't describe, but at the same time, I'm not like dejected, exhausted, you know? There's like, I feel like there's two kinds, just like regular exhaustion. There's two kinds of emotional exhaustion. There's like dejected exhaustion and triumphant exhaustion. You know, like the first one is after you worked a 12-hour shift at a job you hate that's like taxing on your body, and all you can really do is lie there on the couch, and you kind of want to, like, every muscle in your body is screaming for you just to go up to your bed and go to sleep, but your brain doesn't want to go to sleep because it's like, my life can't just be work. If I go to sleep now, the next thing I'm gonna do is work, and I just finished work. You know, that's like the dejected, defeated exhaustion. And that was kind of both the physical and emotional one at the same time. But then there's like the triumphant exhaustion. I just ran a marathon. Or even right now, we're more like, I ran 7/8, 9/10 of the marathon. And right now, we're in what we would call the kick when I used to run cross country, which is basically depending on where, like, what the design of the cross country course was. It's when you can see the finish line. Not necessarily. It's like if you're running an 8K, it's like the last, depending on terrain and stuff, because you're going downhill, you're zigzagging through woods, maybe you're going uphill, maybe it's muddy. All those things are going to depend on how much kick you have. But it's like the last 200 meters, we'll say, is like a good kick. And that's probably maybe a little bit of an extreme kick. I don't know. A lot of people do less than that. But it's when you can see the finish line and you're still exhausted, but you have to push harder than ever, because this is where the point where there's like 5 people stacked up, you know? And you can see like 3 of those people in front of you are like exhausted. You know you can blow past them. One guy, you're like, there's no way I'm catching. His kick's just as good as mine, if not better. So like, I'm just gonna try and keep pace with that guy. And then the last guy, he's like, that's the one I'm trying to beat. You're like, I know I'm gonna blow past those other 3. I'm not gonna catch that one, but man, if I give it everything I got, I think I can beat that guy to the finish line. That was my favorite thing about running cross country. I hated 99% of everything I did for cross country. The only reason I joined cross country in the first place in college was because I went to a party and I liked everyone at this house. We were just sitting, drinking, hanging out, having time. It was chill. And I was like, so you guys like got this house together? They're like, yeah. I was like, you like come from the same town? And you like all from New Jersey or from New York or something like that? Because I went to school in Wilkes-Barre, so Eastern PA. And they were like, no, we're the cross country team. I was like, oh, I ran cross country in like 7th grade. They were like, really? You should join. You should show up to practice on Monday. And basically what we do is we just run on Saturday and then we drink all Sunday. And like no one even really takes it seriously. We just hang out. It's like more and I was like, okay. And so I showed up on Monday and people were like, bro, nobody expected you to show up. I was like, well, I'm here. Like, let's do it. So I was on the cross country team for a year and a half. The second year, I ended up quitting. I didn't quit. I moved on. There's a difference between quitting and moving on. I ended up moving on for 2 reasons. One, I was a double major my second year, political science and theater arts. So I'd only been a single major the beginning year. Originally, well, kind of. I was kind of a double major both years, but for the first half of my first year, I was Air Force ROTC. And even though that's not technically a major, it's just as much work as like a major itself, being in the Reserve Officer Training Corps. In some ways, it's more work. It's equal amount of work as theater. And the reason I declared theater, that theater was my first major, was because when I was in the Air Force, I wanted to be a pilot. And they told me, so I was studying physics and calculus in college, in high school. And I wanted to be a space engineer, an aerospace engineer, design spaceships. That was my fallback. And they were like, well, my Air Force advisor told me if you end up getting a technical degree in engineering, the Air Force is going to make you be an engineer. They're not going to let you be a pilot because it's hard to find good engineers, basically. So they were like, if you do that, you're not going to be a pilot. And all I wanted to be was a pilot. So I was like, no, fuck that. And I was like, for my entire life, I've been very musical and very much an entertainer, which I guess is why I take so well to streaming. But my parents really forced me into STEM hardcore to the point where pretty much all of middle school and high school was absolutely miserable for me. But eventually, in my senior year, I kind of just said, fuck this. I'm going to have fun. And I could have gotten into Air Force Academy. I could have gotten into Syracuse or other schools that level. If I'd really applied myself, probably could have easily done Ivy League as well. But I didn't want to go to any of those stuck-up schools. And I'm trying to think. I think it was weird. So I had a lot of not helpful help from a lot of people around me. And I don't want to put anyone on blast on stream. But there were lots of interesting things going on with my financial aid that are kind of still fucked up to this day. Like, I'm pretty sure I can't get the transcripts from Wilkes University because there was an account that was never paid that I never had access to or ability to pay. But we're just going to leave it at that. I don't want to go into too many details. Who knows? Maybe that issue got solved and I just don't know about it. But the big thing was that eventually I got to a point where both the Air Force and theater arts were demanding 110% of my time, right? Because the Air Force, you got to do your PT, you got to do your drill, you got to do special Air Force classes outside your regular classes, and then theater arts, you got to, it was like I would go to class during the day, and then after class, I would be at the theater department doing rehearsals or things like that until 10 or 11 at night. And then I'd sleep for a few hours, and I'd get up, and I'd do Air Force PT, and then I'd go to class, and then I'd be at the theater department until 10 or 11 at night, and I'd just do that over and over again, and I burnt myself out real fast doing that. And when I had to choose between Air Force or theater, I was having more fun with theater, especially because my parents were like the most extreme helicopter parents. So I just wanted that taste of freedom, you know? I feel like if my parents hadn't been so overly restrictive and demanding on me, I probably would have stuck with the Air Force. But it was like the last thing I wanted was more old people yelling at me, telling me what to do, you know? So I was like, if I got to choose one of these, it's theater, hands down. And then the beginning of my sophomore year, I'd been taking poli-sci courses, but it was more that I was into the philosophy behind them. Dude, college is the biggest scam in the United States. Not for everyone. If you're going into a highly technical course like biochemistry or engineering or something like that, it's still a scam. Now that I think about it, especially with all the stuff you can find online. Don't go to a major university. Go to a community college or a trade school if you really want to learn, or take an online college, because the actual real colleges just rip you off. They charge you like $250,000, give you these insane loans with ridiculous interest rates that can't be erased through bankruptcy, by the way. Student loans are one of the only types of loans, one of the only types of debt that can't be erased by bankruptcy. It is the most toxic, evil shit, the way America preys on its young. Pretty much everywhere else in the world, they set their young up for success. But here, it's just a bunch of old fucking geezers trying to suck the life out of their own children. It makes no goddamn sense. Well, actually, it makes perfect sense. It's just, I understand it, but I can't comprehend it. You know, it's so dumb, so short-sighted, and so selfish. But it's what we have right now. So, dude, I'm so tired. I'm just fucking rambling. I'm gonna go to sleep, and I will wake up tomorrow and have an actual legitimate stream at some point. The later, dude, it's already tomorrow. It's 7 in the morning. Holy shit. The later I do this, the later I'm gonna start the stream tomorrow, because I still got probably 5 to 7 hours of things to figure out if I'm gonna put it back the way it was. So we'll say 5. It could be just 3, but the range is like 3 to 10 hours for how long it could take me to fix everything I want to fix before I stream. So I don't have anything set up properly. I'm not gonna raid because I don't even know if it would all work right. I'm sure it kind of would, but normally I have things pre-set up like browser windows and stuff that help me raid quickly, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just going to call it a night. I'm gonna go get some sleep, and I'll be back tomorrow. Absolutely. I'm trying to find the time to catch up to the Discord if you're still watching, Preacher. It's just, I've got so many, there's this stupid, like, I love the game. Where is it? The Star Wars role-playing game thing that I do. Dude, I've been doing this for 3 hours. Holy shit. I know, because it's 2.5 hours. Because the total remote training time is a maximum of 12 hours. The Star Wars role-playing game. Absolutely love it. But there's this terribly timed tournament going on right now. And I happen to be one of the team leaders. And it's also been not just terribly timed, but poorly managed. So it started today, but we didn't know what the schedule was for the fights until today. But it like the whole thing was set up a month ago. It was set up a month ago. Over a month ago. I'm pretty sure. The deadline to submit for the tournament was for the 4th. And I'm not even actually managing one team. I'm managing 2 teams. for my faction. And one of the people on the second team is having a family emergency, and they were like one of the, probably the commander of the second team. The second team is like kind of super chaotic. I don't really know what's going on with the second team, but I'm trying to figure out. I don't know who's going to lead the second team, because I can't lead both teams actively. I can only be in one team, but I'm organizing both teams. And then after we submitted it all on the 4th, we just got silence from the main organizer for like an entire fucking week. Absolute silence. No updates about what was going on or anything. And then just finally today. And so yesterday, people were like starting to message me to try and figure shit out. And the whole time, my PC's been down because I was having, the whole reason I did the OS upgrade, if you haven't seen the Twitch videos or anything like that, I mean the TikTok videos or anything like that, is because it just got to a point where it wasn't working anymore. I literally could not go live in OBS, and I couldn't figure out the error. So I was like, fuck it. I knew this had been coming. It's been a long time coming. For like about a year, I felt like I was going to have to wipe and just I wanted to nuke my PC, do a fresh install of everything. And I was just putting it off because it was still kind of working. And I was trying to get my momentum back. So I didn't want to take all this downtime to fix the PC. And I kept going until it wouldn't work anymore. I knew I was in trouble when I couldn't play Marvel Rivals anymore. Now, don't get me wrong. That's more of like a high-end game, too. So I wasn't too worried about it. But that was like okay, we're on the downhill slope part now. This is like the end. I got to start preparing, you know? That was the thing. I was like, yeah, this is not going to be working much longer. And that's why I was playing WoW, you know? Because I was like, well, if my PC is currently on its last legs, I'm going to play a 20-year-old game because I know at least that will work. And then eventually I just couldn't start the stream anymore. Windows is dying. They're cutting off support for Windows 10 way earlier than they have historically for previous operating systems, because they're trying to force people to Windows 11. And just reading the features from Windows 11, I hated it. I wanted nothing to do with it. And God, am I so glad I made the right choice. Dude, if I had upgraded to Windows 11, I would be actually like demoralized and emotionally exhausted right now. Right now, I'm just exhausted in the good way. But as part of trying to figure out the stream setup, I was trying to use the old SE plugin, and I was using a virtual machine running OBS and the SE plugin in Windows to try and figure out how the plugin worked, and then see if there was a way I could take the data from that and kind of replicate it using my own plugins on Linux. And I found out it was better just to like build plugins, just to use like pre-made plugins and then create that functionality from the ground up. although it's not working as well as I hoped it has, we do have it basically working. I just can't read YouTube chat for whatever reason. But for future compatibility, since they're ending support for Windows 10, I decided I was going to install a Windows ISO, a Windows 11 ISO on the virtual machine. And oh my God, that is by far the worst, absolute worst version of Windows they have ever come out with. It is so fucking asinine that you can't even change the location of your taskbar. For like 10 fucking years, maybe more than that, I've had my taskbar at the top here. It feels better for me. Having to go down to the bottom all the time feels like I'm constantly going out of my way. It's more efficient for my workflow to have it at the top. And especially because like all the menu bars and stuff are up here at the top. I just like having it at the top. Windows 11 has no option to move the taskbar. And then when I did like a search, I was like, hey, is there a way to move the taskbar? People were like, well, you used to be able to move it by editing the registry. First of all, that's ridiculous, because editing the registry is how you break things. And the fact that you needed to go that deep to just be able to do something as simple as move a piece of your graphical user interface, your GUI, is absolutely insane. But that wasn't even the worst part. Once people started sharing on forums and stuff that you could move the taskbar by editing the registry, because lots of people like to move the taskbar. People that have come from Mac or older versions of Linux like to put it on one of the sides, because I've seen it there before. Windows, they went and they came out with a patch that made it so you can't do that anymore. It will automatically reset the registry if you edit the registry to move your taskbar. But it gets worse. It gets worse because people then came out with third-party apps that would allow you to move the taskbar. And Windows came out with another patch that broke those third-party apps. And yeah, they keep patching those third-party apps, but Windows keeps patching the patches that break the third-party apps. They just don't want you to be able to move your fucking taskbar. And it's absolutely insane. And when asked about it, they said, well, there aren't enough users that want to do that we don't feel like it's a priority for us to do. Then why is it a priority for you to patch it out is one of the big questions. But that's absolutely a fucking lie, because when you go and look on the Windows forums, there are people begging for this feature to be put back in with thousands of upvotes and stuff. Test stream seems to be a success. Thanks, dude. I'm ranting right now. I've been awake for way too long, so my brain is absolutely fried. I really appreciate that. I didn't hear the notification. Thank you so much for the sub, bro. I didn't hear the notification because I don't have any of the actual OBS settings set up yet. I don't have a noise gate, so when I stop talking, you just hear the PC fans. I don't have a compression filter, so when I'm freaking out and yelling at the microphone, I'm blowing out your eardrums. But I don't have any of the overlays or anything, so it didn't do the notifications when you subbed. But I really appreciate it, my dude. Thank you so much. I wondered about that. It's both. I don't even know how long I've been awake, but I've been working on fixing the PC stuff. Like if you're not up to date with what I've been posting on all the socials, I'm on Linux now, and it's amazing, but it's a lot of work. So I've been trying to get everything set up for streaming for like 2 days straight. And the big problem was I was trying to replicate the setup I had on Windows, and Stream Elements is not Linux friendly. They only do Windows pretty much. They kind of have some Mac apps, but they've also gotten rid of a Mac app. Why you would develop for Mac over Linux at this day and age, I don't know. It's not 2008 anymore. Linux market share is going up. Mac market share is like non-existent in the PC world these days. Even people that do have Macs, they install Windows or Linux on them usually. So, but it's been really frustrating trying to get everything working. The good news though is I can play Marvel Rivals again, which is insane because Marvel Rivals technically isn't Linux native, but Steam is so Linux friendly that they have a built-in compatibility layer called Proton in Steam that allows you to run all kinds of Windows games without either running Wine, which is Linux's compatibility layer that works sometimes and only occasionally crashes. Sometimes it crashes a lot. It's like rolling the dice, right? When you're trying to run something through Wine, it's like maybe it's going to work, maybe it won't. Proton just works. It's really nice. In fact, it works so well that I use Steam to run Battle.net so I can run WoW. It's insane. What I haven't figured out how to do yet, though, is install the add-ons. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use an add-on manager because Steam wouldn't run the add-on manager. I haven't tried Wine yet. As far as I know, there's not a Linux add-on manager for WoW because WoW isn't Linux native either. So I'm probably just going to need to manually install the add-ons, which is a pain because there's like 30 of them for hardcore. But yeah. Seffies, Beep Boop, what's up, dude? Good to see you. How you doing, bro? Definitely being able to stream from Linux opens possibilities for like Raspberry Pi feeds and stuff. Yeah, that'd be cool. It's easy to manual install. Yeah, but there's 30 of them, bro. There's fucking 30 of them. I know it's not difficult, but doing 30 of them? The thing about the add-on manager was I just clicked install, and then when they needed updated, I just clicked check for updates, update all, you know? I'm exhausted, bro. Like, it's just been so much endless work for the past, like, 3 months now, where I did all this renovation. I still don't have the damn lights up. I don't have the regular lights on. I just have the ceiling light on right now. But I have these fucking glow lights that I've been wanting to put up for 2 weeks now, maybe. The PC took way longer than I thought. First of all, it took, I think, 3.5 days for it to overwrite one of my old Windows drives. I have 3 drives in this PC. The main boot drive, which is a 256 gigabyte SSD. It's kind of small because it was the fastest drive I could find at the time when I built this. It's a real nice drive, like a Patriot Viper or something like that. I forget what it's called. But great read-write times. Really good lifespan for drives of its age. And to get that level of speed and performance and reliability for my boot drive, it was kind of expensive. So it's not too big, only 256 gigabytes. But I have two terabyte drives that I use for storage. One is a decently fast. I focused more on like reliability and longevity for this than speed on this one. Also NVMe SSD. The other one is an old SATA HDD, which is what I record my streams to. Basically every stream I record the stream to that HDD. When I'm editing videos or recording music, I record that stuff too. Everything that doesn't need to be fast goes to that. And then my games all and like certain files and stuff all get installed on the 2 terabyte SSD. But the 2 terabyte SSD formatted in like 5 hours, maybe. I swear to God, the HD took like 5 days. It was at least 3, probably close to 4. If you go look on my social media, which I just posted the links, I'm not going to post them again. There are pictures of it slowly crawling by and getting slower as it goes along. Because the thing about old school hard drives is, since they're mechanical, right, you don't really think about this most of the time. But people that needed fast response times on their hard drives, when they only had old hard drives ability, before we had all this fast access solid state memory or flash drives, which is just, these are actually just mini solid state drives, really, like the precursors to the solid state drives in your laptop these days. But before we had all this fast access instant memory, the old hard drives, if you needed speed for them, a lot of people would only ever fill up 50% of the drive, because very much like a CD, it's a circular disc in there, and the farther the right arm has to move and read arm, the slower the drive gets. Even if it's spinning at its maximum speed, it's just simple physics that regardless of the speed it's spinning at, if the arm needs to move farther to complete the read, then it's going to take longer, and that's going to slow down the read and write speed. So as the hard drive was formatting and overwriting, I would watch it get slower and slower and slower. It started out saying it was going to be like 1 day and 12 hours, and then there was like a real big cliff. It was really fast for the first I don't know exactly how long. We'll say 12 hours or so. Then I woke up the next day and it said it was going to take 2 days, right? It was going to take like I went to bed with it saying it was going to take like 1 day and 12 hours. to overwrite the disk. And then I woke up the next day and it was like it had went backwards. It said it was going to take over 2 days now. And then like from that point, it started going down slowly, but it would go down like on a curve, you know? So it would say like 2 days and 13 hours, but then it would take like 5 hours for it to say 2 days and 12 hours, you know? It was just like, maybe not exactly that ratio, but it was just so frustrating. It just kept getting slower and slower and slower. I would sit there and I would watch the speeds go from like 7.3 megabits a second to whatever it was. And then like I'd come back with a coffee and it was like 7.2 megabits a second. I was like, son of a bitch. Oh, it was the most frustrating thing ever, man. Yeah. So we're, as I was saying earlier though, I was talking about how it feels like kind of like a cross country thing where I'm exhausted, but I'm energized and exhausted at the same time. Like at the end of a cross country race when you can see the finish line and there's like 5 people ahead of you, and like the one guy you're like, there's no way I'm catching him. He's been faster than me this whole race. That guy has like an impossible amount of energy. He's got that spot. But then there's like 3 you know you're gonna pass, you know, right? Like one of the guys, he's like absolutely dead on his feet. He didn't save any energy for the kick at the end. You're like, that guy's probably gonna have a heart attack before he gets to the finish line. Then there's the other one who's just like in like a little bit of a jog. You feel like they've probably just been running the same speed the entire race, and they're now just like kind of slowly tinkering out of fuel. Then there's the next guy who's like actually, he's putting his own little kick on, but he's not got it, you know? He's either just not as fast as you are, or he's a little bit exhausted. So he's putting on a nice kick, but you're gonna catch him. And then like, again, there's that one guy way at the front, the first one, that we're not going to catch at all. Then there's the other 3 that you're almost certainly going to pass easily. Then there's that 4th one. You're like, ooh, can I catch him? I'm thinking of a very specific race where it actually happened. I was not a good cross country runner. I just want to say that. I was like one of the top 3 on my team at the end. You know, I was like one of the last 3 people on my team to finish the race. Now my team was all right, but as far as my team went, I was like one of the last 3 on the team. And the top guys, they actually loved me because I was never really an endurance guy. I'm more of like bursts of energy type thing when it comes to sports. I liked basketball, I liked football, I liked ultimate frisbee, all those things where you kind of just conserve your energy and then go really fucking hard for 30 seconds to a minute, and then you conserve your energy, that type of stuff. That's what I was really good at. So I was not really built for distance running. The only reason I joined the team was because I went to a party and I loved everyone there, and they were like, we're the cross country team, you should join. We drink on Saturdays and we run on Saturdays and drink on Sundays. And I was like, as a team, and I was like, that sounds like fun, let's do it. So that's why I joined. And but the guys on the top of the team loved me because this is how good they were, by the way. They would finish, right? They would go do their cool down run. And then after they finished their cool down run, they would come watch me finish the race. So, but the one thing I did have is what we called a kick, which is because of like all those years of playing basketball and volleyball and football and soccer, all these things where you just need to summon burst energy. I was really good at just summoning this huge reserve of energy when I was dead dog on my feet, tired, and pushing through at the end. So I would pass like 5 people at the end of the race. And they said it was like always the most intense thing to watch, because like it generally cross country races aren't the most interesting thing to watch, especially like at the top level when you have all these guys that are competing with each other. They're like all kind of just barely slightly edging each other out. And then you get to the end of the race though, and it would just be me, and I'd just fucking blow past 5 people. And the guys on the team told me they loved watching that because it was just like the coolest thing. So there was this one race in particular. I remember I just barely beat this other guy out. He wasn't really paying attention. He had like a good lead on the people behind him. And I ran past all them, and I was like, bro, can I get there? Can I get there before he does? And I beat the guy by like 1 or 2 seconds. He didn't even see me coming. I just came out of nowhere, zoomed in front of him, and got a better time. Not that it matters, because we're all at the end of the race, right? But guy comes up to me. Funniest thing ever. I was so confused. I almost laughed in his face. He was so angry about it. So mad. He comes up to me after I like, you know, when you're pushed that hard, you like walk it off a little bit. You got cramps in your side, your legs, everything. You've just been running for 8 kilometers, all that bullshit. So I was like, I was doing my like little walk off thing, just walking back and forth, kind of limping a little bit. He walks up to me, he just says, "I'll see you at States," and he storms off. And I'm just like, bro, neither one of us is going to States. In my head, I didn't say that because he was gone, but it was just like, you got to be like one of the best people on your team. And not just on your team, but also like in the state to compete at States. And I was like, the only way that's going to happen is if everyone in his entire school was terrible. Maybe they get to send 1 or 2 people from like my tier, but there was definitely no way I was ever going to States. So I thought that was fucking hilarious that he just stormed up and said that. The dude like had to be delusional, but that's kind of where I feel like I'm at right now, Cephis, with the whole fixing the studio. The big renovation was the slog, and now just getting the stream working again. I don't have any plugins, any overlays. I don't have any filters on my microphone. This wasn't even supposed to be a real stream. I was just like, I'll show you what this stream was. I set one thing up for the stream, and I've just been adding things as we go along. I don't even have my camera locked right now. It's the wrong resolution for whatever like the Logitech. I don't have the drivers installed for the camera yet. I just turned it on and I wasn't sure if it would work, but it did. But I'll show you what the stream started as. This is all I was streaming. And then people started just randomly showing up, and I was like, well, I guess I gotta talk now. And now I've been going for I don't even know how long. Like actually hours at this point. This was supposed to be like a 20-minute, I'm just testing it to make sure things are working. And I've been talking for 2 hours now. Why you have a user called my fucking... You saw that? That's just... I don't actually have a user called that. That's just how annoyed I am with typing terminal commands. So, I just troubleshooting stuff. Yeah. Because I use VS Code for my terminal. I was using base terminal, but I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's annoying. And then I tried I looked into other terminals, but I have VS Code because I want to start building Android apps because I don't like some of the functionality on my phone, and there's an app I want that doesn't exist, so I'm just going to make it. So I also want to eventually build a crypto coin. I'm not talking like meme tokens or anything like that. Fuck that. I want to build a real smart contract token. I'm getting into coding. I'm using AI to help. And VS Code is just the best platform as far as coding from what I've been able to tell. This isn't the first time I looked into coding. I looked into it like several years ago, and back then I was using an app called Atom, but that kind of went away. It was really cool. It had a nice UI. That's the primary reason I liked it. Atom had a much cleaner, more easily understandable UI, but then it like disappeared. I think it came back, but it literally disappeared from my PC at one point. That was really weird. I've never had an app just disappear from my PC like that. Normally, even if an app goes like out of date or something, it's just gonna stop working. But this just like entirely uninstalled itself somehow. So even once they brought it back, I don't know if it still exists. It was like floundering for a while, but it came back for a while. And then even once they brought it back, it just kind of freaked me out. I was like, I don't want a self-aware coding app. But like now I have a coding app that comes with an AI plugin. So who knows? But no, the main reason I went with VS Code is because it's got the best plugins. And I don't really care about GitHub Copilot, but it's got Flutter and Dart, which are what I need for developing cross-platform mobile apps. So eventually I realized, I don't even remember how I realized, but I noticed that VS Code has that terminal in it. And then I was like, bro, this is way, way better than the GNOME terminal. So I've been using that. Windows is by far, no way, bro. No way. Windows 11 is the worst Windows ever. Windows 11 is worse than Windows Vista. Windows 11 is worse than Windows 8.1. Already crashed 4 times on me. 10 was so much shittier than 10. I love 11. Dude, no. 10 was so good. 10 was the second best Windows, I think. It wasn't as good as XP. XP will always be the GOAT. 7 was okay. 10 was pretty good. It has never crashed on me. Get a good PCU, boy. No. So the thing, there's so many things I hate about Windows 11. I had a Windows 11 virtual machine on this PC when I was trying to figure out my streaming settings. And it's the worst Windows I've ever used. Absolutely ever. I totally nuked that VM, and I'm just going to download a Windows 10 ISO to use for my virtual machines from now on, because it was just the worst Windows. The UI is absolutely terrible. You can't customize 90% of that shit. I don't know why, but even like the icons and the colors they use just make my eyes hurt. It's like intentionally designed to rot your brain. There is forced AI integrations in it. Like Cortana in 10 was bad enough, but you could at least turn her off and gutter in 10, which is what I did entirely. But 11, it's just super invasive with the AI. The UI design, there's so much empty, wasted space. The settings menus make no sense. It's like they entirely designed it to keep you constantly lost. And then they have been intentionally patching out the user customizability. When people figured out how to, they took out the option to move your taskbar. And then when people figured out how to move your taskbar by editing the registry, they patched it out. And then when people made third-party apps to allow you to move the taskbar, they patched it out. Microsoft is becoming insanely anti-consumer. There are entire forums begging for them to bring back the ability to move your taskbar, and Microsoft has just said, no, we're not going to do that because the people don't want it. But yet there's these forum posts with thousands of upvotes begging of the people, begging them to bring it back. Microsoft is so fucked, bro. No, you can't. If you're still moving it, then you're not on Windows 11. Because I promise you, you cannot. Where is he? Well, we're gonna do the thing. I need to fix the chat, dude. I'm working on it. The chat over, like, we just threw the chat overlay in there. It's in the way. I'm in the way. Everything's in the way. That's not what I wanted. We're gonna actually fix this all for the first real stream, but can you move the taskbar in Windows 11? I promise you can't. I spent hours trying to figure out how to solve this. In Windows 11, Microsoft has limited the ability to move the taskbar from its default bottom position to the top, left, or right side of the screen through standard settings, unlike in Windows 10. However, there's still ways to adjust it. So, tell me about them patching out the registry edit solution. But yeah, so officially Windows 11 does not support dragging the taskbar to other sides. Previous workarounds like editing the Windows registry to move it to the top, left, or right stopped working reliably after the update. However, you can use third-party tools to achieve this. But I researched these tools. Here we go. Third-party tools may cause glitches like misaligned icons or start menu issues, especially after Windows updates. And like that's also how you get malware and shit. One of the reasons I'm switching to Linux on top of that is to try and be more secure with my PC. Registry edits are risky and no longer effective for newer Windows 11 versions. It's absolutely insane. They're just fucking it so hard. I hated the UI. I hated the icons. It just felt like ass. It is the ultimate in shitified version of Windows. Windows 11 Pro, people bitching don't understand code and fixing their own PCs, or not third-party tools. Use your brain and change your own code, or I can just use Linux, do that on a better system that runs smoother, by the way. Like, I played Marvel Rivals, and it was way smoother on Linux than it ever was on Windows, which is insane. Absolutely insane, because it's not even built for Linux. It was just running through the Steam compatibility layer. It's ridiculous. I can't wait to play Marvel Rivals again. I haven't been able to play it for months. It was freezing. It was literally like a slideshow. And it was, I didn't even, and that was at minimum settings. I didn't even lower any settings. I just started it on base settings, although it might have remembered the minimum settings. But it was so smooth. It was the smoothest it's ever been. Everything is smooth. Well, yeah, I'm sure, dude. I don't doubt that at all. I'm sitting next to one 2K PC. So, and then there's like a $300 pre-built, $300 to $500 pre-built upstairs with an RX 560 in it, I think. I'm pretty sure it's the RX 560. Let me see. Wait. Yeah, I think. Do I have the gigabit? Is it called gigabyte? Yeah. I'm 90% sure that's the card in the one upstairs. That actually doesn't work at all. One, I spilled coffee on the keyboard and destroyed the keyboard. Like, absolutely, the whole fucking cup destroyed it. I tried. I unplugged the keyboard immediately, dried it out. It just shorted too much shit out. It was a really cheap, shitty keyboard that I actually just used for... It used to be the keyboard I used to repair old PCs when I worked as a maintenance guy at an apartment complex. People were throwing shit out all the time. It was like kind of rich area, so people would throw out used electronics the moment anything went wrong with them. So I would take them apart and see if I could fix them and resell them. And that was the keyboard I would use to troubleshoot those old PCs. It was just, I think it was Dell. It was the most basic, straight up plug-in keyboard that needed no drivers or anything. So I was, the only reason I was annoyed when it got destroyed was because now I like threw all my extra keyboards out, or like, I think I still have one more extra keyboard, but it didn't make it up here in the move from Pittsburgh, although hopefully that gets resolved within like a month. And then once I have a keyboard back on the PC upstairs, I'm probably installing Arch Linux on that PC, because I want, since it's an older PC, I want to strip it down, and Arch Linux is really good for that. And then I have a little netbook somewhere I want to install a Linux distro called Anti-X on, which it's just the lightest weight 32-bit distro I could find. So yeah, we're going all in with the Linux stuff. Love you. I did. I'm sure you did, bro. I'm just playing into it. Like, if you know me, if I were actually upset, I would have just banned you. No, I'm kidding. I don't ban anyone. I just make fun of people until they go away. Voodoo graphics for the win. Oh yeah, dude. Like, honestly, I can't wait to try streaming. The funniest thing about this whole setup is that to run Battle.net, I run Battle.net through Steam. I just think that's ironic, you know? Where it's just like, what the fuck, man? Like, I have to use, not, it's like ironic both ways, right? Because I'm using a competitor to run a competitor's software so I can play a competitor's game on a system that it wasn't designed to run on. And I just think that's hilarious. I love breaking the systems, you know? But I have been rambling for like 3 hours now, and I need to wake up and actually fix this and get my fucking camera drivers installed so I can have the right shape and resolution camera and install set up my filters so I don't blast your fucking eardrums out, because there's no compression filter or anything like that. So I'm gonna you know what, we'll see. Can I use the regular? Let me find this shit. I'm fast. She wishes I wasn't sometimes, but she's my hand, so it doesn't matter. Dude, I'm so tired. I'm just saying the most random shit. This is why I shouldn't stream when I'm sleep deprived, because I say the most out things ever, and I have no qualms about it. Someone's gonna clip this, and like 2 days later, I'm gonna see it, and I'm gonna be like, bro, I can't believe I said that. Why did I say that? Because I don't remember what I say during my streams. It kind of just all falls out of my mouth like your mom's pussy when I'm done. I need to stop. Okay. I hate this new system. There we go. Let's do that. Okay, it's not that bad. They made some improvements. You know what? I've been talking about how I need a filter, a noise gate, so you guys just don't hear my PC fans, especially once I start playing Marvel Rivals and that shit spins up. We're gonna raid the guy that told me about noise gates back when I first started streaming. So, guys, go show love to Hammy. I'm gonna go get some sleep, and then I'm gonna wake up and finish the rest of these PC settings and probably be live again, unless I need to do shit with this tournament. I don't know what's going on with that. Love you all. Thank you so much for stopping by. Peace.
Steel Drifter, thank you for the raid, bud. How you doing? How you been? Playing Astronauts